Is going on, my Reefing fam? March here. This is Fragbox TV. Different sort of video today. I'm going to show you how not to flood your aquarium or your store. Yeah, let me get into it. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Hello, what is this? It's a store in Toronto that specializes in saltwater aquariums. This is my lovely bulldog, and yeah, you never know what you're going to get when you come to Fragbox TV. We could be doing videos on coral care. We could be in Germany traveling and covering the largest pet convention in the world. We could talk about macroalgae, or we could be here on my hands and knees struggling to fix a flood in our little fish system in the shop. So anytime that something like this happens, I always like to show you guys the good and the bad on the channel. I think that's what kind of makes us different. And I hope that from these shitty experiences, you guys can learn and hopefully avoid mopping up and having this sort of disastrous thing. Before I show you exactly what happened, we had one of our drains clog here. So you can imagine, if your drain is clogged, think about it like a tub, okay? If you clog the drain, but you leave the faucet on, what's gonna happen? It's gonna overflow and we're gonna get water everywhere. Now, I'm about to go to Asia next week, and anytime I'm about to travel, shit like this always happens. There's some sort of divine timing. In the last couple of years, if you guys know me, I've become quite religious. And it's little things like this. I know it sounds stupid, but everything always sort of aligns for me in such a way that I'm sure somebody is watching. Thank you very much, man in the sky or woman or whatever you happen to be that created this lovely universe that gives me the opportunity to do what I do here in the shop. I'm so grateful and thankful. And always, right before I leave, if it can happen, if it's gonna go south, that's when it happens, and it gives me a week to kind of figure it out. So, not to get too religious on you guys there or turn you off of the channel, let me explain to you exactly what happened. Turbo snails here. Let's see. Before I get into it, you wanna maybe guess in the comments below before I tell you what happened. What happened with our friendly turbos? We added a bunch here. Now this is the second time I've made this mistake, and unfortunately I am a little bit embarrassed to say that some of the lessons I've had to learn in life takes me 2 times to learn. I only got married once. I learned that lesson. Don't do that one. Okay, let's not get sidetracked. Turbo snail. How might a turbo snail do it? So we have drain covers on our tanks here to stop snails and fish and urchins and anemones from going in there. And sometimes we'll even leave our drain section partitioned off. Forgot to do that. And you wouldn't think that a turbo snail could go here, push this out of the way, like so. Actually, you know what? Let me get the turbo that caused this disaster. You, mister, I'm gonna call you Enrique. I don't know why, it's just the first thing that came to mind. You, Enrique, are a special fella. So what Enrique did here is he somehow, with the force of the turbo, pushed this off, cover, got behind it, and then went down the drain. And from that, it was just enough to clog that drain. Like I said, if you clog the drain, leave the faucet on. But here's the weird thing. This is where I'm always talking about that divine timing and say thanks to God. We should have had a big flood in the store. This started happening as soon as we walked in. Why? Because the pump that runs the frickin' system died last night. So what are the chances? If the pump was on, that's clogged, there's water, way more water. I changed the pump, water starts flowing, Kavina notices, oh my God, this tank is starting to overflow. So we got nothing, maybe that much, a liter of water on the floor. If it happened, if the pump was running like it normally should be, then we'd have a much larger problem. What would that look like? That would be, the sump would run dry, basically. It would pump all the water up here, it would flood out. I do have my electrical mounted higher, just in case stuff like this ever happens. You guys saw that episode where I went through the store and I literally, one by one, took all my power bars and got them off the floor. You guys should really do this. Never have power sitting on the floor. Look at all my bricks. Double-sided tape. If there's anything you learned from today's episode, this is it. Just be super careful with your electrical. So I've done that on every single tank. So in the event of ta-da, we're okay. The worst thing that's happening is we're mopping the floor. So how to avoid this issue? I'm going to glue these in. The reason why I keep them loose, because I like to take them off once a week and clean them. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna keep our drains separate with our dividers. I'm gonna glue these in, and I'm just gonna have these separate from here. because I don't see a turbo being able to do what I just did there. That takes quite a bit of force. So hopefully that's going to avoid it. But that's what I mean about divine timing, and like, what are the, can someone out there calculate the chances? What is the mathematical probability of the pump dying at the same time as a turbo snail doing what it did? Okay, so how did I fix this? This guy went in here. I tried to, Enrique, you wait there. I'm very mad at you. You know what? You're a time out, Enrique. You're a bad boy. I went in with these to try and get him. I pushed Enrique further. Then he dropped and I heard clunk. So I went down here. I got lucky. I cut the pipe with my trusty Milwaukee cutter. My pipe cutter is not here, but I have this little hacksaw. And then I reached in and you want to see? I'll do a, this will be like a live reenactment of exactly what happened. Look, where was it? I'm gonna put him back in. This is really stupid, but content is king. Oh, look at that! Enrique was in the pipe. I want to swear so bad right now. What am I going to do to fix it? I went to Rona. It used to be called Lowe's, but they got bought out. Now it's called Rona here in Canada. This is a 1-inch union, Schedule 40 PVC, and we have some PVC glue. Let me glue it back together. That's it. It's glued back. If you've ever thought about opening a store like this, I would say don't unless you're super handy. There's always something to fix or do. If you don't have basic knowledge in plumbing, electrical, framing, this is so hands-on. This sort of shop and hobby altogether really rewards people that are handy. If you're not handy, I'm not saying don't start a tank. There's just a lot of DIY that goes into it. So if you're into that, great. But as a store owner, if I had to call a plumber, electrician, or framer for every time I needed something, we wouldn't make any money here. The whole store is wired by yours truly and plumbed by me, March, the guy behind the camera. Disregard that, please, there. Just food for thought. So, how do we make sure this doesn't happen again? If you're plumbing a system, ideally, you want 2 drains for that very reason. If one clogs, then the other one. Now, that wouldn't stop a turbo snail from doing that. And I'm so embarrassed because this is, like I said, this is the second time this happened to me. This happened to me about 10 years ago. So I really should have learned my lesson. Clearly I didn't. Now I'm noticing here, I'm a little bit dumb on these. You see that? They're threaded. Marge, look at that. You don't have to glue them, stupid. So all I need here now is an adapter, which is a 1-inch threaded adapter, and then I can thread these on. So there's no chance of our little turbo friend doing that again. Really, I could have just had a threaded bulkhead on this side. These ones are slip. I really should have used a threaded one. So what I'm going to do now is order my adapters, thread these on so the staff can thread them off to clean them, and then hopefully, this lesson is behind us once and for all. I think that's it for today's short video on how to not flood your aquarium in a very special and unique way. Now, there are many other ways to flood a tank. This is just one of many. I've done, well, no, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say I think I've done every possible way, but I'm sure there's some other ways out there that I haven't thought of. But that's just nature of the beast. You have a mop handy and hope for the best. And like I said, please be safe with the electrical. Mount stuff high up. Don't leave power bars on the floor. Don't leave electrical on the floor. Look out for this product coming soon. Haha, I got to do one shameless Reef Casa plug in every episode now. I'm sorry, guys. But it's just because I want to show you what I've been working on. This is a little electrical power bar. It's called the Hub. It's from Reef Casa. I'm working on some little custom stickers to come with each one, so that you can put a sticker for, let's say, your skimmer or your light, whatever you want to plug into it. And it's got these little LED buttons up top, and then it's really easy to just turn on and off. Even if your hands are wet, you're not going to get electrocuted by using it. Be safe with electrical. Look how I mounted it up high. If for some reason this entire thing floods, we're still good. Water is going to go right past it and I don't have to worry. So please be safe. We did see a couple stores get burnt down to a crisp in the US, 2 of them last year, and that's really what inspired me to kind of go through the store and start looking at electrical safety a lot more carefully. It was being lazy with certain things in the shop. Sometimes, you know, I do stuff in a hurry, and then I put it at the back of my mind and I'll say, okay, I'll get back to that and I'll do it right when I have time. Let me just get it out there. And that's really not the way to do it. So do as I do, don't do as I say. That's what I always say. Okay, I'll leave you guys with that. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys back here hopefully on the next episode of Fragbox TV. Bye for now.